Hey everyone! So this weekend I took my family to go see How to Train Your Dragon 3, and I must say I was really super impressed. I love the first two movies. In fact, it's pretty much played in our house every month. Every month we play 1 and 2. We love these films. We think they're super powerful, they're fun for kids, but really great for adults, and they give a great message. So let's dive into my review of How to Train Your Dragon 3. I'm Tessa with mamasgeeky.com. Okay, so first of all, I want to say it starts out with action. I loved it. It was funny, and the action was great from the beginning. I mean, there was the humor in it because the humans are not doing a very good job at fighting, while their dragons are really carrying them throughout it. I did notice almost immediately that one of my favorite voice actors, TJ Miller, is no longer the voice of Tuffnut. That was really upsetting to me. I'm not sure why, but the guy who does it is pretty good, and it could pass as TJ's voice here and there. It didn't disrupt the film for me, but I did notice it and was kind of bummed out. I'm not sure why. He's stopped doing a lot of acting. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I will say I was kind of sad about it. From what I could tell, the rest of the voice actors were back and they all nailed it. I mean, I feel like I have seen these characters grow up. I love thinking back to when Toothless and Hiccup first met and just how much of like their bond, right? How much they love each other, how good they are as friends. And I'm not gonna lie, I cried during this movie. A few spoilers, when first Toothless meets the Light Fury, I loved it. Of course, I knew she was being used as bait at this point for the bad guy too. You know, he's killed all the Night Furies and he wants to kill Toothless too. I knew she was being used as bait, but I was still hopeful that they would, you know, find their way together. And obviously without them dying, which did happen in the end. Again, there are spoilers in this review, but I mean, it's a kid's movie. It's a bit predictable. I will say, even going into it, I knew that Toothless and Hiccup were going to be separated. That's just something I knew. I could tell from the trailer, and I had kind of heard whispers of that in the community as well. So I was pretty sad, but I went into it knowing like this is gonna happen, they're gonna have to separate. And they hinted at it all throughout the movie that the humans are just too greedy and the humans want to use dragons for war and they want to kill them, and just humans just aren't ready to live a life with dragons, right? The dragons have been so great, and I believe Hiccup even says, you've protected us long enough. It's time to, you know, live your own lives. So that was really sad. That's kind of the part where I cried when he said goodbye to Toothless. It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking, but I know it had to be done. Obviously, they left their home, and the humans and the dragons left their home, and they were looking for a new place to live to get away from the dragon hunters. They were also looking for the hidden world, which was a rumored myth that Hiccup's father had told him about way back when he was a little boy, that is a waterfall in the middle of the ocean at the end of the earth. And I did like some of the jokes about the earth being round. That was funny too. And the dragons live down underneath it. Now, I will say, when Astrid and Hiccup found this place, I loved it. It was beautiful. It kind of reminded me of a part from Flight of Passage at the Walt Disney World Animal Kingdom. In Pandora, the ride, Flight of Passage, there's a part when you're flying on a banshee and you go into this underground and you see all the luminescent lights, and the banshee stops and just kind of takes it all in. And I kind of felt like that. I got that vibe in this scene of How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World, and I loved it. But that's where my mind went. I was like, this seems very much like that ride, which is one of my favorite rides, if not my favorite ride right now at Disney World. So that was exciting. I loved seeing all the different dragon species. I thought it was great. Again, a lot of the fighting and action scenes were really good. I do like how they ended up killing the bad guy. I thought it was fantastic. You know, he takes the Light Fury and he basically blackmails Toothless into telling all the other dragons, because if you remember from the second one, he's the alpha dragon, so he can control them. He's like, I'm going to kill this Light Fury if you don't tell them all to get in the cages, basically, more or less, right? And of course, Toothless doesn't want to sacrifice his love, right? The Light Fury, which we did find out that they mate for life. So of course they're in love, and it's so cute and it's so sweet and I love it. So he's, you know, he's going to tell the other dragons to to get into these cages and not to fight back, which was kind of crazy to see. But of course we knew that wasn't going to last long. Hiccup and his friends all come to the rescue, and it's really great because at one point Hiccup really thinks he's no one without Toothless. He doesn't think he's brave or strong, and Astrid really kicks that out of him and says, listen, like, you're probably going to do something dumb, but you've always done these amazing things, and it was before Toothless. You know, you've been brave. So that was really great to see. He goes and he ends up rescuing the Light Fury and Toothless. However, Toothless gets knocked out by a dart from the bad guy, and he's falling, and Hiccup is holding on to the Light Fury and trying to let her go because she still has this like mind control thing on. And the bad guy is holding on to Toothless's peg leg, and they're falling, and he lets the Light Fury go and he says, save him and go get Toothless. And that's where I started to tear up. Hiccup's falling, and you think, is Hiccup going to die? Is he going to die? And he sacrificed himself, for the Light Fury, but also, you know, for Toothless, for her to go save Toothless. And of course, he ends up knocking off his peg leg so that the bad guy falls to his death just as the Light Fury comes and saves him, which I thought was actually really cute. At one point, he's hanging on to her, and she looks down like Toothless did at first, you know, which we saw a lot of in the first movie, and she looked just like him, but white. And I was like, oh, that's really cute, and I loved that. So they all, you know, they save the day, they're rescued, but Hiccup says to the dragons they need to go. So all the dragons leave, and they go to the hidden world. And then later, you know, it jumps years ahead. Well, he marries Astrid. I should say that. Hiccup marries Astrid, and then it jumps years in the future. And you see Hiccup's all bearded, and he's got 2 kids, and he's with Astrid, and they're on a boat, and he's telling the story of there used to be dragons. But we know that, you know, dragons live in the hidden world now, but even other people in the world have forgotten that dragons existed, and they say, did dragons even exist? They don't remember. And then you see they come up to the hidden world, and they see Toothless and the Light Fury and 3 adorable babies. I am not kidding. My entire theater went, aww, because they were so cute. There was a little baby Toothless that was all black, and the other 2 were black and white and black, and they were so cute. So they come up, and Toothless comes up, and he gets on the boat, and then it's really crazy and sad, and I cried, of course. But Hiccup is there, and he puts his hand out, and Toothless sniffs and realizes that it's Hiccup, and he gets so excited, and he jumps all on him, and it's the cutest thing, and I cried, and that was the best. I loved seeing them reconnect. The moment that Toothless realized it was Hiccup was just fantastic. I loved it. And I think it was just a great end to the movie. You see them all flying on Toothless, like he's got his kids up there with him. Astrid's dragon even comes back up to say hi, and it's so sweet. A great ending to the series, although I am sad that it is over. But I love it, and I think it really teaches kids, you know, be yourself, and you don't need certain things to be you, you know, and even if you love someone, you can let them go, let them be free, right? So it's sad, but it's amazing. Overall, I mean, it was not as good as the first one, of course, but I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Great film. Loved it. Definitely take the whole family. The whole family enjoyed it. We loved it. So be sure to give me a thumbs up. Comment below. Let me know what you think if you've seen it. And yeah, just have a great day. Thanks for checking this out, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.